Okay, how to create a box plot. So something that looks like this. This is called a box plot, and the data is usually, sometimes box plots are horizontally displayed, but here it's vertically displayed. And what this is supposed to show is you have some data, and it looks to me from this box plot like the data is centered close to around 1. Actually, this line here tells you the median, not the mean, but the median of the data. So it's like 0.8 or 0.9, I get 0.9 or something like that. And then this line here is about 1.5. That tells you the upper quartile. And this line here tells you the lower quartile. And these are called, depends how these are defined, but this is, these might be defined as this distance here, from here to here. In other words, like from here to here, which is about 1.5 to 2 point something, sorry, 0.5 to about 1.6 or something. So about 1.1 is the length there. So this length might be about 1.1. And then it depends actually how these are defined. They do it in different ways. But anyway, this is supposed to give you kind of the like something like the 2 standard deviations from the mean or something. It's not exactly that in this case, but it's kind of like how far away things go typically, so that these things are therefore outside of that range. So we can usually talk about these things as being outliers. That's the basics of a box plot. Now suppose we want to make one. Make one in R. By the way, these are called the whiskers. This and this are called the whiskers. And the whiskers sort of show the range of the data excluding the outliers. So doesn't quite seem to make sense, but the whiskers, well, anyway, the outliers are anything that's 1.5 times the inner quartile range if it's beyond that distance from the median. So, in other words, this is the inner quartile range. So 1.5 times this distance would be approximately up here, I guess. And then if it's if data occurs past there, that's called we'll call that an outlier. So let me see what let me see what data I have in just to use. So I'll just type objects, because this just tells me what I sort of have saved on my in memory right now. Maybe it's object or objects. Objects. So let's see which of these are vectors. Probably this is a vector. Probably vec1 is a vector. Let's see. If I type vec1, what's that look like? Not good enough. Let's try uni1. Okay, that's a vector. Okay, so let me use that. So suppose I want to make a box plot with this data. Now that's kind of a small vector, but nevertheless, I'll use that. So all you do to make a box plot is just type in boxplot. Boxplot, and just use whatever the vector is that you want. And then you can check it here. So that's the box plot for that data. It tells me that the mean of that data is somewhere around 7. The 75th percentile, or the upper quartile, is somewhere around here, and the lower quartile is somewhere around here, and so on. And the median we said was somewhere around 8, which I guess is kind of plausible. It means that half the data doesn't look quite right, does it? I'm sorry, it's around 7. So half the data is above 7, and half the data is below 7, or half the data is above or equal to 7, and half the data is below or equal to 7.